primary characters got to the point of the section of the book where you learned of the results of the joust, in which Seraphina Ashmore won her damehood, essentially being knighted, the first female knight in the 12 Kingdoms. And Edric managed to keep himself out of trouble by completing his little side mission for Galdric Glen. Mm-hmm. Good for him. And then we moved away from those characters back to all of you who were able to have a brief discussion within the supply bed of... isn't that working? Within the supply bed of the cart that you're riding in, with Brandon notifying all of you that your arrival at Aethergarde is imminent. And in this kind of like dusky, hazy morning, all of you are greeted by the great walls, outer walls, and beyond them, the peaking spires, the roughshod rooftops that dare peek into the high skies above Aethergarde. Beyond this section of the city, and beyond its walls, you can see the center of Aethergarde, a towering monument to the excess that rules, well, this whole society. And as all of you ride in on the cart, peeking out from the various windows and slips, a scene of dimly lit streets and alleys, a sea of gas lamps lighting cobblestone pathways unfolds in front of you. Horse-drawn carts, the clatter of footsteps, and the occasional rattle of constables' patrols fill your ears, and your nostrils are kind of scrunched by this thickness in the air, the pollutants and other things coming out of the other more industrial parts of the lower cities, kind of thickening into clouds above these hoveled homes. You hear some of the constables stop the cart, and Brandon's starting to speak to them about where all of you came from. It's not uncommon for constables to stop people near the gates, especially if they don't recognize them at all, just to see what they're passing through for. But you can tell that in every which direction you might go as all of you step off this cart and observe Aethergarde. Some of you for the first time, some of you have been here many times before. You can see the public standpipes of waters. You can tell that these streets lead to all kinds of vice, debauchery, drinking, dancing, other forms of revelry. You're only limited in Aethergarde by the vividness of your imaginations. And how do all of you react to arriving in the big city?
V is probably a little bit uncomfortable because even though he's been here before, he was pretty much always hidden away and not really allowed to go out and meet with the general public. So he probably like pulls his hood up and his mask, make sure his mask is up, and then kind of almost like crouches sort of around behind people, like hunches over a bit to try and be less noticeable.
I'll poke my head. Jensen will poke his head out the window and like take a big sniff. Say, "Smells like the city. Kind of sounds like the city."
Charlotte nods her head. Yes, the peace of the wind and the trees and the leaves has definitely left us behind. She steps out and she lets out a groan as she stretches her older frame.
There will be no peace and silence here.
I should hope not. I'm looking for the strongest.
All right, we need to take you along to that museum.
If
What
you
was the
don't
thing called?
mind.
Max steps down from the carriage and says, how I have missed the city. One can only stand so much peace and fresh air, you know. He'll sort of rub his hands together a little, and little blue sparks will shoot off.
Not the most comfortable place, but we'll manage.
The rest of you would see Charlotte gathering her small collection of things, and she turns to all of you and she says, I have some unfortunate news. It's become apparent since our stay with your friends, Jensen, and all I learned in particular from that one friend of yours, that I am dreadfully close to something I've been looking for, or perhaps it's close to me. I'm only going to be staying the night. And I think I'm going to be staying near the gates. I'm going to be leaving again in the morning. There's something I need to take care of.
Is this one of these things where we'll see you soon, or will you find us if you mean to see us again?
I don't know when next our paths will intertwine, but I do know how to get a bird's note to the manor. I've already sent one before. So I will try to reach out and contact you, at least keep you updated on how I'm doing, until we can see each other again.
This is some sad news for sure. Macy will be upset on our way back.
Yes, I'm sure she will, but tell her that she's spurned my next adventure. Oh, and I was thinking perhaps all of you could make sure Virfortis Codex gets to the Museum of Mythos for me.
Yeah, we can do that.
Good. And there was one more favor I'd hope to ask. This tale, Bede's story, she lifts the tome. I think it might be important for me to finish with. I'd like to take it with me for now. Perhaps I could send it back to you when I'm done with it.
I think that's all right.
I have no need of another book.
Well, at least you didn't leave us off with a
Reading
cliffhanger,
other
Miss
books.
Charlotte.
She chuckles at you, Max. And then she offers you, Max, her hand. I very, very much would like to take in one of your big shows someday.
He'll shake her hand, and then as he lets it go, a bouquet of flowers will appear in his hand, and then he'll sort of bow and hand it to her and say, I shall make sure every act is polished.
She chuckles and she takes the flowers and she turns to UV and she says, and I do hope when you see Durasane, you beg forgiveness for me, that I did not see him before I left again.
Do you need me to, actually beg? Because that feels weird.
No, it was... Well, don't worry about it, V. It was a pleasure meeting you.
You too.
She turns last to you. She smiles and she reaches out and she cuffs her thin gloved hand on one of your meaty arms. And you keep slaying monsters.
Oh, Miss Price, you know I will. If you are ever in need of my services or my brotherhood services, invoke my name. Should get you somewhere.
She'll nod her head. I will always remember that.
I'll take her hand. I'll reach out and I'll kiss her hand.
She'll chuckle and she'll kind of take a deep breath as she pulls her hands back. All right then. Slowly only means more painfully. She smiles at all of you and she gives you all one last nod, and then she kind of turns on her.
One last thing. You are an avid reader. I appreciate that. But work on your strength while you're gone.
Thank you. And then she turns on her heels, and you see her walking up to the stable master off to the side, where there's several carriages, and she'll say, "Driver, I need a driver." And with that, for now at least, Charlotte steps away from the party, leaving the rest of you to decide in what order you would like to progress. Where you have entered is within the same section. It's within a section of Aethergarde. I don't know if any of you have read the doc, done your homework, but it's within a section of the lower city of Aethergarde. It's a district called Bethel Hill. It's one of the oldest districts in the lower city, and it is where Waltz Manor is located. You're currently closest to where the Asane is.
I'll kind of like look after Charlotte for just a moment, hands on hips, like feeling like, oh, this is a new friend that we're kind of losing to, not losing, but like not traveling with us like much too quickly. Then I'll turn back to the others and look at the book's spine to see what the last thing it said. Look down and say, well, I do think maybe we should go find ourselves a doctor. I'll look at V.
Agreed. He's this way. I'll start heading towards the manor. Honestly, probably taking like back streets and alleys and like not the main road, because that's the way I would know how to get through the city.
It's noticeable that he seems to be taking a more stealthy path to the rest of you. Who's holding Veer Forge's Codex?
I'll hold him.
Okay.
I will approve silently, not say anything, but I will approve of using the back streets. Smile on my face.
Go ahead and make perception tests for me against the target number of 12.
I can't hit that.
I'm not
You
looking
can,
around.
you can with momentum.
I'm not that worried about it.
8.
There's nothing on the back streets that's ever been able to do me wrong before.
Now, you know what?
Good deal. Hold on.
We're the Backstreet Boys right now.
We are.
Take that. I got a 7.
A 7.
A 7.
Okay. Anybody else? Get a roll of a 12.
I got an 8.
Okay. All right.
Oh, even though I can't hit it.
It's noticeable to all of you that, V has to do some recorrecting a couple portions of the path, but eventually you do find yourselves out front of a large wrought iron gate, looming past it in kind of this more secluded area of Bethel Hill, near this very old-looking park, is a large manor house. Some lights scattered, but on, flickering through the windows. The gate does not appear to be attended to. This is definitely the manor.
Would I imagine there would have been a back way into the manor that I would have normally been taking, as opposed to the front gate. So I would probably head that way. And also,
Okay.
I did take the front gate.
Okay. All right.
You can let me know if there was a back way that I took or not.
There probably was, like somewhere else along the back of the fence, with a passage that was kind of like hidden. It was like a passage that led from the secret areas underneath that only the two of you really knew through a well top. That's like essentially a fake well, but you would know that he probably doesn't want people brought that way.
I'll just go up to the gate and push it open then and lead them inside.
Right. If all of you could give me one sec, I'm getting a call about something, and I need to answer it real quick. I'll be right back. Pushing open the gate and slowly trudging up the path through these kind of... You can tell that it's been a long time since the gardening has been properly done. Most of the trees are drooped, kind of like this whole lower city is drooped. And you see that front door, it shifts and slowly pushes open. From the light, you see a hunched figure. He looks out and smiles. It's like a long smile across thin lips with several missing teeth. Hello. You must be the good master's friends.
Do I recognize this guy? Or did I not really have any contact with the...
You recognize this guy. He's probably the only one that you had any amount of contact with. His name is Harold. And he's kind of like the housekeeper, a butler kind of guy. He's also kind of Dare's like assistant.
Gotcha. I'll kind of pull back the hood. Hi, Harold. Is Dad here?
Yes. He's waiting for all of you. Make sure to wipe your feet.
He opens the door and he kind of bows and stretches an arm out for all of you to come in.
I'll wipe my feet and then head inside.
Thank you kindly.
The three of you can see this flicker of yellow from a large fireplace as all of you pass the antechamber and you turn into the house. You see, well, Dare, what do they see as they see you in the kind of like the sitting area by the fireplace?
Just sitting next to the fireplace, there's what looks like an untouched cup of some stronger alcohol. Looks like it's been sitting there for a little while. And he's just staring at the fire at the moment. And then turns to see you all coming. Hello? How was your trip?
Oh, Doctor, it's good to see you.
It is nice to have friends over.
Our trip was just fine, but we did get some horrible news as we got into town. Miss Price had to step away. Something about a breakthrough in her work.
She told me to beg for your forgiveness, but then that I didn't actually have to beg.
I believe that is a turn of phrase. It is fine. Although I would have liked to say goodbye myself.
Yes. She said she would very much like to see us again, but we must follow this path, I suppose.
Hopefully, our paths will cross again.
I'm quite certain that they will. She's promised me to come to one of my performances in the city.
You will be performing then?
Why, yes, of course. Why else would I have come all the way here?
It's a fair point. I would like to see you perform as well.
Excellent. I shall make sure you both have front row seats.
Well, more importantly, how are you, Doctor?
I am dealing with my situation as best I can. Some things have come to light. New things I can do.
things.
We can discuss this later. In where there aren't extra ears roaming the manor.
Well, all right. I too did a little bit of research on your behalf, so I can help understand you and some of the new things you might be able to do, whether you know it or not. So we should talk.
I would be very interested to know what you have to say. But again, I think it would be best for later. Any of you hungry, thirsty? We have...
Yes, food, drink. You know what? I'll just go whip something up. And by me, I mean the cook.
Thank you, Harold.
He scampers off.
Enthusiastic chef, isn't he?
Me.
I couldn't hear what Josh said.
Oh, I asked him if he had anything for me lying around.
Of course. The young master asked me to prepare something.
Thanks. It's been a while since I've had a good meal.
I will make it extra spicy.
Perfect.
So I don't know how long you will wish to stay in the city, but I do have extra rooms if you are wanting to save some money. So I find that this manor is mine.
Yours.
Yes. You are more than
Sounds like
welcome
them-
to a guest room.
That is much appreciated. That does sound like the end of a sad bit of news, though, from your end.
My father
Surprised
passed.
your dad left you the manor.
I was a little surprised as well.
You and your father were not close, I take it?
Not so much towards the end of his life. Perhaps he never updated his will.
You guys hear the entryway of the grand hall slam open, and you hear Brandon's voice echoing off the stone walls. Yeah, just leave me down by the gate with the whole cart. Yeah, I'll just drag everybody's stuff in, not a problem.
I have faith in you, Brandon.
Fuck you!
Max will shake his head and say to Daria, I trust you have staff who could assist poor young Brandon with this task?
Yes, of course. Harold, would you see to the cart? See that the horse is fed?
Harold sits down all the food and he nods to you. Yes, of course. And then he steps out this door into the hall and he says, oh, chin up, you'll be fine. Glenn, come and help with their things. And you hear all three of them shuffling back out.
Careful with the red bag. Broke a man's arm once. Ugly affair.
Before he left, he set out some food. He set out alcohol, like brandy, as well as like water.
Max will go to pour a glass of brandy and give Jensen a look, like inquiring if he wants one.
Oh yes, please. Also, Dare, we should let you know that we have acquired something of a new companion as well. I'm gonna look to V and say it is most unusual, but I think your inquisitive mind will be intrigued.
It's this book. I'll hold out the book.
This
Is
full
it
name again?
Say
special
hi, book.
Is your friend strong?
No, he's
No.
like the opposite of
Not
strong.
particularly. Well then,
Yeah.
it's nice to meet you, I guess.
Well,
You
he
as
is-
well.
He is a very good doctor, a very intelligent person.
He does read a lot.
Well then, he gets some credit. And this book is important, you say? New companion in that
A
I
new
have
companion
to
and
I have an open bookshelf, I suppose.
He
well,
wanted
no,
to be taken to the museum.
Well, we can accomplish that.
he was brought to the lodge, the Everhunt Lodge, and left there. And he happened to reach out to us while we were conversating.
I see. What time of day is it?
It is. Let's go with pretty. It's like evening now, because they got back They got here pretty late in the day.
Gotcha.
So you're pretty fresh. They're pretty tired because they've been riding all day.
Well, if you wish to go to the museum now, before they close for the night, we could do that. Or you would have to go without me in the morning.
Only stay awake at night now.
Well, I can be awake during the day. I can't go outside.
Well, I was thinking that you would accompany us, but that is a wrinkle.
I cannot let the sun touch me, or... Well, I'm sure you know Jensen.
I do. That makes a lot of sense.
We can go now then.
We could. Are we ready to go? We have been on the road, but we were lucky to have a smooth ride.
Do you want to take? You could take the personal transport back to the museum now. Yeah. Glenn's outside bringing in bags.
Yeah, I'll pop my head out the front and call out for Glenn. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
would you mind bringing the carriage around? We are going to take a trip to the museum.
Sure thing. Be right back. And he'll toss the bag that he's got to Brandon, who starts to complain. Oh, shut up. And then he jogs off to the stable to hook a couple of the horses up. They're bringing the rest of the things that need to come inside in, and then he guides, and then Harald guides Brandon to lead the horse that draws your cart into the stable so it can be fed and has somewhere nice to rest. And while that's happening, Glenn comes back around. He pulls up in this shiny black and silver carriage with the Waltz family crest on it, and he opens one of the doors. Sir?
It means
Before we
after
leave, was there brains put out with the food?
Yes.
What part of the brain?
Your choice.
Ooh, my choice. Okay.
Every part, so you can decide what you want the benefit from.
It's been so long since I've played V, I gotta remember which part of the brain does what. Hold on.
What a conundrum to have.
I
What
know.
brain does my character eat?
You can take the plate with you, V. Snack in the car.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it with me. And then I will, you know what? I'll take the body and the mind because I can get the benefits from 2 places.
Works.
Yeah, I'll take it, and I'll. Oh, did he put enough hot sauce or enough peppers on it?
He put a lot. You probably would have put more.
Okay, I'll put more on while we're walking out.
All right. Getting into the carriage, all of you leave the manor, the headquarters behind, and load up, and you ride from Bethel Hill to. This is me trying to remember where the museum is located because it's not in Bethel Hill. To the Shard. And on the Shard, you eventually find yourselves riding up to this almost Roman-esque stone structure, this massive columned front face and wide granite stairs that kind of lead in a winding path up to the front of the Museum of Mythos. You see a man. He's aged with a bushy, unkempt mustache and curly white hair. He's leaned out one of the doors, and he's slowly turning a sign along the brass fixtures on the glass of the door from open to closed. It's a bit late to see the museum now. Sorry. Perhaps you come back in the morning?
We had a donation for the museum, actually, right? Right, there's a donation.
Yes.
A donation for the
You
museum.
can call it that.
Yes.
He pulls out a very thin, round pair of glasses, and he furiously cleans them off, and then he hooks them kind of like awkwardly with one hand onto his face. Could I maybe see what you got there?
I'll hand him the book.
Interesting.
Hello.
Interesting. Very interesting. Hello to you.
Are you strong?
Not particularly.
Next.
That's kind of rude. Where did you all find this book? If I had to guess just off looking at it, it's quite old.
I found it on a table at a lodge.
I guess
One of my brethren found it on their journeys.
Interesting. And what do you brethren do?
Well, we are a guild of monster hunters.
Don't hear that every day. Very interesting. Well, I'm definitely interested in it. If you don't mind me taking it off your hands, I'd have no problem at all with you coming back in a few days. I'd let you know what I've dug up on it. Perhaps we can turn it into an exhibit.
Oh, please do. I'm looking for the strongest.
Like a contest kind of thing.
Yes.
Interesting. How does that spine even work? There must be some kind of mechanized gadgetry. He starts inspecting the spine.
Well, good luck in opening that. You won't be successful.
Hold on. I must put my training to the test one more time. I'm gonna try and open the book.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast inner strength on myself first to increase my brawn by 1 and double the amount I can normally carry.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna start by trying to gently open the book to see if maybe it's like a opposite thing, like
Sure.
you know, the strong or really the weak or whatever.
You try to very gently open the book. It does not work.
Then I go full force at it.
All right. The target number is 24.
24. Okay, I can hit that.
You can use momentum.
I would like to use momentum, and then you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna get a power up, and I'm gonna buy athletes training 3 more times to give myself a +4 at baseline bonus.
That's
And then I have 1 from eating the brain, and another 1 from the inner strength.
This
So I
is
add
amazing.
+6.
Did you just
roll.
spend character points to buy athletes training?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yes, I did. I want to open this fucking book.
So what's your flat bonus going to be?
Flat bonus now is 6.
Okay. Go ahead and
And
roll.
I spent momentum, so that lowers it to what, 21?
This
And
is great.
and athletic checks are easy for me, so that lower it to 18.
That's correct.
Hell yeah. All right, I got this. I rolled 19 plus
You got
6
it.
is 25.
Oh shit!
You wrench at the book. You feel it shaking, and you manage to get the cover open. The rest of the pages are still stuck together, though.
We'll try to turn a page. Did I
As
do I
you-
feel like I learned anything?
As you have it open,
Uh-huh.
the book is going to slam its cover, like as it feels just the ever so slight weakening of your hand grip in the cover. It's going to slam and try and like grip onto your fingers that are on the pages.
I need you to make a contested athletics trap as Vir Fortis Codex attempts to grapple you.
Okay. These are easy for me.
You get to roll and keep the higher.
Still have my +6 bonus, so 16 on the first one and 17 on the second one. So 17 for me.
Chris has got to pull up Vir Fortis Codex's sheet.
Yeah.
Because he's got shit for this.
I can't believe I'm saying. I've been saying
You cut off.
just like running my hands through my beard, and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
like as he opened it, I stop. I'm just stopped staring, and I'm staring at the book. And as it slams down, I'm gonna start laughing.
If it slams down.
Fair.
Max will pull out his little pocketbook and a little pencil, and turn to everyone else and say, "I will now be accepting wagers." And
Actually,
five silver on the book. Anybody? 5 on the book.
I have the wrestler calling too, which also makes his athletics checks difficult while trying to grapple me.
Noted.
I don't know if that'll help, but just want to throw it out there.
I'm seeing if I have anything to help with a grapple. Sorry.
I'll turn to Max. I'll kind of like take a
I
step
built
back and
to
turn
grapple.
I'll turn to Max and I'll go, "Well, you taking notes on this? We might need this for later, but I don't think we should
I don't
interrupt
think
it."
so. So
Also-
it's just, athletics.
Yep.
Difficult
yours is
athletics.
Because he's making it difficult.
Also for the shits and giggles, and I'll put 5 silver in, or 5
Demarks?
Demark,
Or
5
whatever
Demarks into Max's hand, and I'll say I'll
Demark.
take
No.
that bit.
Got too used to playing Pate.
So he attempts to grapple you, but you manage to keep it open. Those pages, though, they're not opening for you.
Gonna just
At this point, I would like each of you to compare initiatives.
okay. I have 2.
Vir Fortis Codex.
I have a 2 baseline, but I have something that boosts it, I believe. Yes, my initiative. Oh no, that's something different. Do I count as my own ally for battle tactics?
That's a great question. I'm going to say in this situation, yes, since we need to break a tie.
Then I have 3.
Okay. You shake in his hands, and then it is your turn in the initiative order of your Fortis Codex. How would you like to start your turn? This is how I always hoped you would reveal the ridiculous character build that is this character.
Fighting V
As
after
you-
I finally
As
opened
you
him.
avoid the grapple,
You only passed one of the tests, buddy.
as you avoid the grapple,
I opened him.
you'll see on that first page that's blank text appear. You have one chance. Prove your strength once more. And I am going to look through really quick and see what my actual armor is set at. So I'm not gonna attack.
Oh, you're gonna just give up your turn.
I'm waiting for him to attack me.
Got it. Okay.
I need to calculate how much armor I have though. I will spend a tactic point to increase my armor by 1.
Okay. Do you have a natural armor?
I have
Baseline.
3 baseline,
Okay.
so that puts me to 4.
It's ridiculous.
For that session where Josh fought a book, and the book was Chris.
So is it my turn then, Chris?
And I'll
That's exactly what you
Use it
pictured for your
my-
system, right? An undead creature fighting a book?
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then
A
I'll
book
spend
that's psionically controlling itself.
I'll spend my deed on defensive stance. So it increases my armor rating by amount equal to my dodge, which is another 1. So I'll be at 5 armor.
Are there any like random pedestrians on the street with us?
I mean, there were people like riding by and stuff, and like several people have stopped all the way at the bottom of the steps leading up to the museum now, and are kind of like, "What's going on over there?" Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Then Max will swing his cane around as he turns to face them and flourish his cape and say, "Ladies and gentlemen, have I got a show for you? A feat of strength like you have never seen before." And then he'll go on with this whole spiel about fighting the book, and then try to start getting wagers from other people in the crowd.
Yeah,
I'll let you-
be at 5 armor.
5. Yeah, I don't even think V can do that much damage. So,
Yeah, but I have an idea.
you can you can make a performance or a persuasion test against a target number of 8.
Well, I know which one of those I'm making. Uh, 18.
Okay, yeah, people start placing bets. The majority of the bets go to V because nobody understands how he could possibly get beaten by a book.
Once he's collected bets from everyone who seems immediately winning, he'll start pitching how you could be next to take on the strongest book in the world.
Okay. Jensen, I take it you're just still watching.
Yeah, I placed one of those bets, but I'm watching with my blade unclipped just in case, but like with my arms folded, just standing next to Max.
All right, back into the combat order.
I just boost my defense, and that's my turn.
Cool. I know I can't damage you, but I got something else in mind. We're gonna try and see if it helps me at all. So I'm gonna take 2 hits at the book.
Sure.
Do you
Dodge
dodge at all, Chris?
Yes, the book is.
I do not dodge.
Oh.
Okay. So then they both auto hit, I assume.
Yes, they would.
And I will be spending a combo point to confuse the book because I hit with 2 unarmed attacks.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that confusing the book will make it easier to open, maybe? Because
What
it'll
is-
be confused.
It's going to give him the
What
actual
does
confusion.
do?
It makes... I think the actual condition itself, wits and wisdom tests are difficult.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna. It's not like a. It's not just like Veer decides. There's like enchanted magic involved with his construction.
So, probably not helpful. Would exhausted be helpful at all?
What does that one do?
Brawn and agility tests.
I mean, that would probably be more helpful if you want to like actually try to fight with him right now. But you can already tell just from those strikes that you're dealing like no damage to him. And he doesn't seem to be dodging. He seems to like want you to deal damage to him.
Not enough. Like you felt the book like being tense in your grip as you opened the cover. Now, Veer just goes relaxed, no longer tensing at all. And you can tell once you release the cover, it's like feels like there's a spring on the cover. Once you release it, it's just gonna close. But not like trying to force itself closed right now.
You're a tough book.
You almost had it.
I'll be back. They
You
take
close-
it to learn how to actually use a weapon, maybe.
Train your mind as well.
Okay. I'll do my best.
Next.
At this, Max will turn back to the crowd and say, "In a stunning turn of events, our dear fellow here has been bested by this tome of incredible strength. Who will face him next? Only 5 Dakotas to take on the book, folks. 5 Dakotas. 20 if you can open it. 20 back to you, sir, if you can open the book. You look like a strapping young fellow."
Yeah, you'll get a line. You'll make a line, and you'll make like 30 Dakotas off like 6 dudes trying this before people start feeling like maybe you're tricking people, and people start dispersing.
I'll take what I can get. How much do I make
Nobody's
off?
able to open it.
How much do I make off the wagers?
Let's say that you made like another. Let's say you made like another 100 Dakotas off the wagers.
Yeah. How many Dakotas to Demark?
Oh, I'm sorry, 100 Demarks. So
Okay.
that's like 10 Dakotas.
Okay. Wait,
You
the Dakotas are the bigger ones?
Yes, Dakotas are the bigger ones. I apologize.
Okay.
I mixed it up that time. Somebody mixes it up every time. You probably took Demarks from those other bets too. But it was still 30. Just because the people in this district are poor, you probably wouldn't have even asked for Dakotas.
Right, okay. So I made 130?
Yep.
Total?
Which is,
Okay, great.
yeah, which is essentially 13 of the higher amount.
Cool.
At this point, the guy that was out front of the museum is like, well, this was all really interesting, but I was trying to close like almost an hour ago, and I'd really love to inspect that book.
I'll hand it over. Or I guess probably that Max has it now since he was taking money to try and open it.
Well, if this
Yeah,
is my new home, I'll take myself in.
Yeah, Max will offer the book and say, and Mr. Codex, if you ever consider going to showbiz, I can find many other very muscular folks who would love to try to open you.
Well, let's see how this museum thing pans out, yes? I'm gonna
Just keep
Use-
my offer in mind.
Telekinesis
I will be
on
in town.
myself and float myself over to the other guy.
Well, have we seen him? We haven't seen you do that
Nope.
before, right? I'm gonna go wide. I'm gonna follow, just follow you going.
The book just flutters inside on its own. Been making
now
people
what
lug it
did he
around
need
this whole
us?
time.
What did he need us for?
Directions, maybe.
It seems like he didn't really need you for anything. Professor Potts, by the way. And he'll nod his head and then he'll close the door to the museum.
Well, you all
Oh,
certainly made an interesting friend.
Yeah, all right.
James, did you bet on V or the book?
I bet on V.
Okay.
Yeah. I will lose that 5. But I think I bet on him initially opening it though, which technically I won. But semantics, I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah, that's
I mean-
true.
I mean,
You have to keep your 5 demarks. What were you going to do, Jesse?
No, I was just trying to settle the waiter.
Alright. Alright. The Vir Fortis Codex has been returned to or placed at the Museum of Mythos as he continues to look for a pupil. Is there anything else you guys would like to do while you're out for the evening? Or would you like to return to the manor?
If you are all tired, we could head back to the manor. Although I got up not too long ago, given my new waking times.
I don't really sleep very well, so
If
Well,
there's anything
seeing
you
as-
wish to see.
Seeing as
sorry, go on.
I don't spend too much time in the big city, I don't really have anywhere I specifically like to go. But I do want to return to this museum when it's open.
By all means, you could come back in the morning.
I think we could wait a couple days and see what the good professor has to say about our friend. Maybe he has other means of finding out about him than we do.
It's very true.
Seems like a reasonable course of action.
But I would like to see more of this city. Like I said, I do not have anywhere necessarily to go, but I would like to see it.
Well, open at this time, it would just be
Average.
house of drinks, taverns, gambling.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. I am very tired. I am kind of looking forward to a smoke by the fire and a warm bed.
If you wish to just rest, we can head back to the manor. We can get you all situated in your own rooms. Something for dinner.
Perhaps that would be best for tonight. It has been a long road.
Very well. I'll just sort of do the hand circle to get let him know we're coming back to the carriage.
Yep. He hops back up in the seats, and after propping open one of the doors, and you guys make your way on that slow ride back to the manor house. And he shows you all to rooms you can stay in for the night. With perhaps the promise of a little tour in the morning. And I think that now that you guys have returned the book and you're back at the house, we'll take a 10-minute break. As after all of you can roll your d12s for long rests, except Josh, who has to roll to see if he even gets to rest. But everyone else can roll your d12 for one or both of your health and sanity.
If I'm at full, I don't need to do anything.
You don't need to do anything.
I would use one of my vials for the day.
Okay.
I got a.
Well, what are everybody's morning rituals? Josh, I trust you to calculate what you got and what it gave you.
Yeah, I got a short rest with an increase to the health back. Would that still leave me down wound threshold because I didn't technically get a long rest?
Sure would.
That's rough.
It's rough, buddy.
That's rough. All right.
It's a dangerous feature you took.
Yeah, I did. It's all right. I get a guaranteed long rest in the next 4 short rests I take, so I'll get there.
Get there.
Jesus.
Get there. It's only 1 down. You still have more health than probably anybody else.
Nah, I bet Jensen has as much or more.
I have 9 at full strength, which I am right now.
I have 8 at full strength, so even full Jensen's got more.
Whatever, dude. You'll be fine.
Man, my character in the other campaign that we just started already has more health.
Did you just build for health?
No, I took one. There's one feature I can't remember in physique that like you get a bonus equal to your brawn.
Oh.
It's like wound threat. You increase your wound threshold by equal to your brawn or your agility. I can't remember which one it is, but yeah, I'm up to fucking. It's not agility, yeah. Okay, so it's 12. My brawn's 4, so I was already at 8, and I went up to 12 just by taking that feature. It's a very strong feature, BT dubs.
I gotta look at that one. I don't remember reading.
Campaign's also really combat heavy, so.
Yes, it is. I'm building basically I'm playing like the Thor type character. Like my name's Andronikos, and I'm from ancient Greece. And
nice.
I was trapped for 1,000 years in a beast.
In a beast. All right. What are everyone's morning rituals? Yes. We'll start with Dare because it sounds like you're drinking blood. Drinking blood.
Yeah, I have one of the vials that I prepared earlier, and then I make sure blackout curtains are all closed everywhere, and hunker down in my room where light can't touch me.
They keep most of the curtains drawn in the house, so you can walk around during the day when you're awake. Just so you know.
I am not testing that unless I need to.
All right. What about everybody else?
I would have asked Daria the night before if he had coffee, or if I could get coffee somewhere around here.
If you don't want what the kitchen can provide, there are some small morning cafes. I'd just give him directions to a nearby.
Yeah.
It's probably very expensive, the one that he would know.
Yeah, okay.
For the area. There's also service bells, like chimes, like pulleys that in all your rooms that have different servants' quarters labeled, so you can pull the kitchens.
Okay.
They'll know you want to be serviced.
Okay. I can walk downstairs into. I'm sure there was a comfy place in the shared areas that I would have sat and smoked last night. So I'll go down there and then see if I can't get a hold of somebody to get some coffee and some breakfast. Actually, no. I think he will go out. He'll think about it and then stop the stop the service or whatever, and he's gonna go find a cafe because he wants to go walk around a little bit. So I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna walk around, just get the lay of this place.
All right. What about V and Max? Any morning rituals? Feel free to notice anything anybody else is doing too. That's fine.
Sorry, dog was going crazy.
I think if Max saw Jensen going out, he would accompany him, since he knows the city already.
Oh. Well, good morning, Max. I'll probably be put my jacket on and I'll catch your eye. Well, good morning, Max. I'm about to go find me some coffee. Not that I think maybe they would have bad coffee here, but I haven't been in this city much. I thought I'd take a little stroll.
Well, that sounds lovely. I think I'll join if you don't mind.
Oh, I would not mind at all.
Well, it's been some time, but I used to know a few places in the area. Let's see if they're still around, shall we?
Yes, please. Daria suggested, and I'll say what he suggested.
Cafe
But,
La Couche.
I'll say, but if you know of other places, I'm just a curious person.
That snobby place. Well, I can see why it appeals to Dari, but I'm not sure it would quite be your cup of tea, if you don't mind my turn of phrase.
No. Well, I can adapt if I need to, but if I don't need to, he'll kind of like give you a wink.
Max will tap his foot as he thinks for a second and say, "Let me see. Yes, I think I know a couple places nearby. It might suit you better. Let's go find out if they're still in business, shall we?"
We shall.
V.
Yeah, so I have a question for you, Nat.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming since the hemomancy negative didn't go away because I didn't technically get a long rest, I'm assuming the brain positives didn't go away either because I didn't technically get a long rest. Can I stack those as long as I haven't gotten a long rest?
Don't think you can choose the same one more than once. But I haven't looked at the feature in a while, so.
It doesn't say that, but I also assume you made the feature with the idea that I wouldn't be eating lots and lots of brains per long rest.
Yeah. I'm okay with you.
Or could I get the other benefits in addition to the ones I already have if I don't stack the current ones I have?
Well,
or can I just have...
You can't have more than a number equal to or less than half your brawn. So you could re-choose right now, but you can't have more. Is your brawn 4?
Yeah. See, I didn't know if that was just the number I could have at a time, or if that was just the max.
It's the number you can have at a time.
Gotcha.
So you could re-choose if you wanted.
Would the consume
If you ate
memories
new brains.
replace one of them if I needed to get memories? Or wanted to try and get memories for whatever reason? Okay. Cool. That's just something that I thought of just now after the hemomancy talk. No, I would not leave the mansion, but I would ring the kitchen bell to get some coffee with a heavy dose of chili powder in it.
Yeah, your coffee is brought to you by Harald, who also brings a fresh meal of brains, spiced as well. And you see another cup of coffee. He gives you a dry smile. Perhaps you could bring this to the young master and see if he needs anything to eat or drink. Might do him some good to talk to a friend. He doesn't leave his chambers during the day very often.
I can understand why if he could die from the sun. I'll take it to him.
Sounds like a very severe allergy to me.
I'll just kind of think and realize that maybe Dare didn't tell him why he doesn't leave during the day now, and then just kind of shrug it off.
Okay. You eat your brains. Your coffee is sufficiently spicy. Do you want to go to Dare's chambers?
Yeah, I'll bring the non-spicy coffee with me for him.
You hear a knock at your door.
Who is it?
It's me. I got coffee for you.
Come on in, V.
I'll open the door and head in,
You can sit.
assuming it's very dark in here.
Oh, there's like some candlelight, but that'll be it.
Mhm.
I'll just gesture to a small table by the door that has like 4 other cups stacked on it. You can just sit it there.
Okay. I'll put it there. Has anything been drinking out of those?
Nope.
I'll go, well, don't want this to go to waste, and I'll drink it for you after adding some
By all means.
chili powder to it.
I find it does nothing for me anymore.
Have you thought about putting some blood in it?
have thought about it, but the blood is sufficient.
But I mean, don't you get bored of just the one flavor? I mean, that's all I can taste, but you know. It'd be nice to taste other flavors.
Actually interesting. People taste... Well, the blood tastes different based on the person's diet.
I bet a vegan's blood wouldn't taste very good.
I don't think I've had one, as far as I know.
You should have Harold get a bunch of different types of people's blood so that you can figure out which one you like the best.
Speaking of Harold, did you just tell him that I would die in the sunlight?
Yeah, did you not tell him that?
I have not told them.
Oh.
Less people know, the better, I think.
To be fair, he knows I'm insane, so he probably won't believe me anyway. He has spoken to, the others.
Just keep it on the down low and assume I haven't told anyone outside of our immediate group.
Okay. I can do that. Where are you getting your blood from?
I go out on the night. I meet some people. Get some blood donations. I pay them, of course. I do also run tests on the blood, that is. See if I might learn something to help others. But I do require it myself.
Yeah. It makes sense. So does Harold know that you're drinking blood? Or is that also not something he's privy to?
I don't think he does, but I don't know. That man sees a lot.
I mean, I don't think he'd be that disturbed by it. He does get me brains.
That's less of what I'm concerned about.
Oh.
I don't know who Harold speaks with. You know.
That's... You're a lot more fragile than me if somebody were to get bad thoughts.
Yes.
We'll have to start trying to get different people's bloods for you so you can figure out what diet you like best.
I would like it to be rather than take, more of a it's given. Which is why I've been paying others for donations.
But I'm sure there's tons of people out there who'd be willing to sell you a little blood. You know, all kinds of different
Yeah, so I don't
dietary.
I don't need all that much. About a pint a day seems to be keeping me fit.
I know some alcoholics who need a pint a day too.
My
At
my
least.
pint is a little different.
It is. I just liked, the measurement system. Do you eat anything now, or are you just blood?
I find that I can eat, but it doesn't sit well.
Garlic in particular.
What if you had, like, really rare bloody steak?
Maybe. I have not tried.
I'll tell Harold to make one for you, so that way you can try.
I mean, I'll try it, but I am not expecting much.
never know. You gotta try things. You know, I tried all kinds of food before I realized that they all tasted like nothing, except for chili powders.
Yes, I'm
And brains.
sorry about that. I did not realize the tongue I gave you would not taste things as I did.
I mean, I think it's just because it was dead for a while.
It's probably the case, yes.
I doubt any tongue you got would have been, able to taste stuff unless you took it from like a living or very recently living person.
Yeah, I did not want to harm anybody.
Yeah, it's okay. I like chili powder. And coffee. Coffee's good. This is a great thing.
Spicy coffee.
It's one of my favorite things. You know what? I'm gonna take some of the brain with the chili powder and dip it into the coffee with the chili powder,
Mm-hmm.
and then eat it that way. That's even better. The 3 best tasting things.
Somewhere in the distance, all of you hear what sounds like glass shattering. Looks like it's happening lower in the house.
Do you want me to go see what that is? I think Jensen and Max left.
If you wouldn't mind, I know they keep the curtains drawn, but if I don't need to go out, I don't.
Okay, I'll go see what's going on. I'll head downstairs.
Heading down into the grand hall, you see a very frustrated, hunched form looking through one of these front windows. It's Harald. Oh, damn it.
What's going on?
Red hats. They've been squatting on abandoned property. Not good. Looks like there's 4 of them outside.
Do I know what red hats are?
Make a lore test against a target number of 6 for me.
Okay.
You can use momentum.
Yeah. I got 8.
Yeah, you know what Red Hats are. They're a local slum gang. They're the kind of people that run like protection rackets and just generally cause issues in the streets. The problem is the poorer you are, the less chance you have of actually getting help from constables. So in areas like this, where it's mostly like dregs and slums, the Red Hats can kind of like do whatever they want.
Have they been causing trouble lately, Harold?
Not specifically with us, but I've heard things when I've gone into town to get to supplies for the house. Definitely not a good thing. We don't have any toughs here, really. You might have to take care of this.
Jensen is pretty tough as well.
Jensen and Max left 20, 30 minutes ago through those doors to find a cafe to get a bite to eat. Right now, you're the only one here. Unless the young master would like to come down, perhaps?
No, he said that he was tired and was going to try and sleep some more. I'll go take care of him. I'll pull up my hood and my mask, and then I'll head outside to go rough up some red hats.
As the door sweeps open and you step out onto the lawn, we're going to cut across the cobblestones, past the yard, to outside of a small cafe. We're sitting at a round table. Max, you look quite comfortable, while Jensen just comically dwarfs the metal rung chair that he sits in, each of you, with a cup of coffee and a beignet.
I love beignets.
Me too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, well, this coffee was worth it, but he'll kind of like shake shake his head at the beignet, and like you can see there's a ring of white powder on his blue beard.
Max will say, "Yes, well, perhaps I should have aimed even lower. My apologies, dear Jensen. I'll get it next time."
Well, this does feel still a pretty high and mighty place. That's true, but I appreciate it though. This was good. Mostly, I wanted the coffee, the food, whatever. Good coffee though.
I'm glad you can appreciate the coffee at least. It is what this place is known for. For a few blocks in any direction at least.
Yes. For sure. Can I just like kind of get do a perception check around as we're sitting there about who's there, what kind of people are there, something? Oh, terrible. 5.
Unless you think you're not paying attention, Max, you can roll as well.
Okay.
Looking up and down the drag, though, both of you can see the lines of shops and diverging alleys and how business is slowly picking up, workers moving out, fathers leaving for the day to head to the smokestacks in the industrial section of the lower city. What do we get? 8. Max, as the two of you are sitting there and eating and chatting back and forth, getting to know each other a little bit, you would notice, looking over his shoulder, back up near the house, there seems to be a group pulling the front gate, the wrought iron gate, ajar and heading up the lawn. It looks like 4 individuals.
It seems, Mr. Jensen, that there are some ruffians rather forcibly entering the manor grounds.
I'll kind of like half choke on the coffee when you say ruffians, because that's just funny to him that you say ruffians. And then I'll people trying to get into like manor, and I'll turn around. Oh,
well,
why?
Like a doctor's manor, at any rate.
Yeah, I'll say no. It seems like you are correct. Why so aggressive, I wonder? I'll look to him and say, we should probably get back there, but maybe stay at a distance in case some trouble is afoot. Just watch.
Yes, at least at first, let's be merely passers-by.
Agreed. And I will drink the rest of my coffee, be a little bit upset with myself that I had to drink the rest of it so fast, and then put it down.
As the two of you head back up the drag, making your way through the crowd while also trying to look as best you can a part of it. Go ahead and make stealth tests.
Yeah.
This is a shared stealth test against a target number of 10.
Okay.
Since we're not
doable.
trying to not be seen so much as not stand out, could I make a performance check?
Sure.
That's no better for me. We're gonna do that.
Oh, sorry, I can't help you with that one.
It's okay. I got 8 on my own though.
Nice. It pretty much means you guys are going to pass.
Hey,
Let's see how high he rolls, just because. That's pretty good.
18.
Yeah, that's pretty good. The two of you make it all the way up to the gate without that group ahead noticing. As you reach the gate, you can see about halfway up the lawn, they stop. The 3 in front are large, tough-looking men with patched coats, dirty clothing, and especially dirty, cracked leather boots, while behind them there's a more slender man. You notice that he appears to be drawing a pistol from his belt. A simple hammerlock one-shot gun. And out of the doors of the manor house comes V standing alone. Creeping a little bit closer, the two of you are able to hear the conversation as V approaches. V, they don't look like they've noticed your friends, and you have not noticed them either, so you're still under the impression you're walking out alone.
It's okay, I've been shot by pistols before, they don't do anything.
I don't have a map for this, but the lawn is covered in shrubbery and rocks, trees. There's lots of cover and things around to pick up if you want to.
I'm gonna just
Statues to duck behind.
I'm just gonna be walking out, and I'm gonna, kind of do the whole crack your knuckles thing with, one fist into the hand and then the other one. I'll go, you guys really picked the wrong house. You should turn back before you can't anymore.
Oh, look at this, fellas. Each of them takes their time tipping their red hats on their heads. This one up front in the center says, yeah, looks like there's somebody already squatting in this old dreg. We'll be claiming this in the name of the red hats. Get your ass out of here.
I'm gonna walk up to that one and just squarely punch him straight in the face.
Okay. And at this point, I need you to...
Oh.
I need the three...
shit.
I need the three of you to add your initiatives.
I have 2.
What? We're not part of this. Don't bring us into this.
You guys want to watch and see how he does?
We're Jesse ruling the fight together. Like, we're doing it, though.
You're Jesse ruling me. Oh, wait, there's 6 of them behind you!
I got 4 just for me.
If V doesn't seem like he's in any immediate danger, Max would kind of just want to watch for the moment.
Okay, cool. So that's a 6. That is enough for the 2 of you to go ahead of them. I'm going to say that V gets the first turn since he's kind of initiating this thing. So he's going to go, one of them is going to go, and then you're going to go. And the 2 of them is going to go. V, how would you like to act? You struck. Go ahead and roll your unarmed attack. He's going to roll a dodge.
13.
Yep. You strike him.
3 wounds.
3 wounds. Oh, he looks like he takes a wound from that.
And
interesting.
That's a 21 to hit on the second one.
Strike him the second time. He's not messing around, boys. Get ready.
And I spend a combo point to give him exhaustion.
Have this! He launches back at you. I need you to make 2 dodge tests for me as he swings at you unarmed as well. First attack is an 11 to hit.
That hits.
All right, 3 wounds at you.
Oh, he actually can deal damage to me. All right.
And then he got a 12 to hit.
I can technically roll that high, but that's my max, so I think he hits regardless.
All right, yep, and that's another 3 damage to you, which I think would be 1 wound, yeah? This is gonna be fun. Jensen, how do you act as these 3 bear down on him?
Yeah, I have the same thought as Max about him being able to hold his own, and I was not planning on getting in on the fight until it looked like. Could I tell it was dealing some damage to V?
Yeah, you could tell that V was not taking those hits super easily.
Okay.
These guys definitely pose a threat. I'm sorry, what?
Was he rolling with difficulty from the exhausted?
Yep, he sure was.
Man, he rolls good.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna look at Max and I'm gonna say, well, I mean, I think we should probably help them out. They look like they're not messing around.
This guy whose back is turned to the 2 of you is cocking back the gun to aim it at V as well.
Okay.
Max would say, and Mr. Jensen, here I always thought you believed in a fair fight.
Yeah, there's 4. If you think 4 against 1 is a fair fight, we should rebalance the scales a little bit.
All right, Jensen.
Max will shrug and say, depends on the one, but be my guest.
All right, Jensen. You move into act. Keep in mind that these are all humanoids.
Yeah, I know.
Dare, it sounds like a full-on fight has broken out on the grounds.
On the grounds?
Yeah, somewhere out front of the house.
Out front, in the sun.
Yep, but you could go to one of these windows to try to peek out if you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I'll stay out of the direct light and just like move the curtain to the side and peek out and see what's happening?
Yep. Immediate sunlight won't necessarily just like auto kill you, just so you know.
I know
But
it
it's
does
not good.
damage over time.
Yeah. Okay. Jensen, how do you act?
All right, I'm going to take out Phil. Bear trap. Yes, it is your time to shine, Phil. And I'm gonna come around the corner and I'm gonna whip it out and like I'm gonna throw it at the guy that seems to be in charge.
This guy
in the back.
center?
Yeah,
Or
I'm gonna
this
try.
guy in the
Yeah,
back?
the guy in the back. The guy in the back. The guy that was
Okay.
not like the other three. Yeah.
Throw it.
Yeah, a creature steps on the strap or has a threat that makes a simple dodge roll. On a failure, they take 1 piercing damage and are restrained.
I'm gonna say this is difficult because he didn't know you were there.
Hell yeah. What do I roll? What against that? Do I roll anything?
It's. I need to change the language on that. Yeah, he failed.
Perfect.
Because he rolled a 2 and it would have been a 6. Then he needed to
Okay.
hit. So the chain, the bear trap open and then clamps down on his hand that's got the gun, and he takes the piercing damage and he rolls onto the ground, crying out in pain and surprise. What the hell is this?
I would say-
you picked the wrong house.
I would say, well, now, sir, that is Phil. Phil is a bear trap. He's very likely to tell you the same.
He wrenches his arm up in the air, and as Phil is cranking down the chain chomp teeth on his arm, you hear Phil say,
translated loosely too. But I don't see why you and your friends here seem to be breaking into our place of residence. I don't really like that much.
He just keeps screaming in pain.
Yeah. You will keep screaming in pain until you tell your men to stand down.
Yeah, in response, this one's going to turn around and rush you.
That's fine.
He rushes up on you. As he rushes up on you, he pulls out like one of those little jack switch smackers, like those little hand clubs, and he rushes in
Okay.
and he's going to swing at you with an attack with it.
Okay, I'm gonna utilize my reaction and attempt to parry that. So I'm instead of a dodge test, I'm going to roll an attack.
You sure are. He rolled a 12.
That's pretty good.
Wasn't bad. You do have a better pool than him, though, and a better flap on this. Oh,
Yeah, 31.
Bury him. You bury him.
31.
You
Jesus.
snap it up and you counter strike him. He gets cut across the chest, and then he'll snap out another little club in his other hand, and he'll make an offhand attack on you as well.
Oh, not quick to learn this one. I'll
Dodge.
attempt to dodge chest. Yeah.
And that is a 9 to hit.
You might get hit by this one.
Dodge not as good as parry.
Definitely not. Oh,
Oh, you did it.
damn. You did it.
You sidestep the strike. Max, are you remaining hidden?
Are all 4 of them engaged with either V or Jensen now?
It looks like this one
Yeah.
is about to spring towards V.
Okay. Max doesn't want to cause a scene, but I would like to use telekinesis to move some loose object on the ground near him in the way of his legs to try to trip him as he charges V.
Sure. Okay. Go ahead and roll a power test for me.
Okie dokie.
He rushes towards you, V, looking to aid his friend.
Oh, I picked the wrong dice, but whatever. 12.
You trip him on the ground, and as he skids to a halt in front of V, he snaps out one of those clubs. He pulls himself up on one knee with the rest of his movement, and then he's just gonna swing with difficulty to try to at least hit V. You got a 4, V.
I can beat that. I got a 5.
You did it, bud. You did it, bud.
I
no.
dodged something.
I mean, he definitely would have hit you if Max hadn't protected you. Max, it doesn't look
Yeah.
like it looks like he thinks he tripped over his own feet, so your position
yeah.
is still hidden.
Perfect.
And we go
Max
back.
will give a little mock bow, regardless of who can actually see him do it.
Nobody in particular.
You mock bow, and then you turn and look to your right, and on one of the branches, you see a squirrel just like eating an acorn, staring at you.
Max will wink to the squirrel.
And then we go back to the top of the order, which means V, you're up.
Alrighty, I will. Seeing how that this guy is as good at fist fighting as I am, I'm going to swap to wrestling because I imagine he's probably not as good at me as that.
Sure.
And I'm just going to try and lift him up, and then throw him at his friend.
Okay, sure. It's good for a couple bludgeoning damage, I think.
So his athletics is difficult, and mine is easy.
He got a 6.
I got a 19.
Yeah, you picked him up. You full power pick him up. You just give him like this hard squeeze, and then you chuck him out with your other unarmed attack. Go ahead and maybe you can roll an unarmed attack for this.
Okay. I'm going to be chucking him at the guy that's like crouched at my feet. Try and send them both sprawling.
Yeah, you're like slamming them. Yep. You slam them back into each other. They each look like they take a wound from that. And they're both prone. And this guy is going to spend their opening turn attempting to get Phil off of his arm, in which he fails. He stands up afterwards, and he basically just starts limping away as fast as he can, with Phil still wrenching and jerking his arm around.
Jensen, he's trying to steal Phil.
Oh, well, that's just not going to happen.
Who's up next? Jensen, Max? Or Dare? No.
I mean,
he's good. Jensen, what would you like to do? You've got a guy adjacent to you. This guy's limping away with Phil biting his arm, and these two are down on the ground. Each of them have taken at least one wound and are prone.
I think I want to go after this. Go after the guy that's limping away. Because he seems to be the leader, probably.
Okay, sure. This guy is going to get an opportunity attack on you.
Okay. Yep.
He's going to swing.
I'm going to use my reaction to attempt to parry it.
Okay. When he's going to spend momentum.
Okay. $29.
He got a 9 with momentum. Yeah, you easily scoot away from him and you rush this guy down as he's getting away. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I would like to non-lethally. I would like to attack him and try and knock him out.
Okay, sure. Make your weapon attack.
Jeez, 32.
Yep, and he was 1 away from wound threshold, so he goes down. He goes completely unconscious as he collapses on the ground, and then his arm is just kind of jerking around as Phil is just like sitting there in the grass chewing on him.
All right, Phil, we got him. He's not going anywhere.
He's pretty tasty, though.
Well, but we can't make that kind of scene in the middle of the city, all right? Yeah, oh, well, I know. I'll kind of like pick him up, pick up the chain, and like expect him to like take it back with me.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'm gonna start dragging. I'm gonna pick him up by one arm and start dragging him back towards the fight.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gonna be my.
Max is doing a little silent clap as he watches Jensen take this guy out.
This guy's getting up from prone. He is rushing down V. He's making a couple unarmed attacks on you, V.
Yeah, I'm sure he's probably going to hit because my dodge is horrible. He could still be exhausted, though. If it's that guy.
Does it last longer than until the end of his next turn?
I thought it lasted for... Oh no, until the end of its next turn. You're right. I thought it lasted longer for some reason.
Well, he rolled a 6 on his first attack, so.
Hey, I dodged that one. I got an 8.
All right, he's gonna strike you again.
6.
He rolled a 4. He missed on both of his attacks.
Hell yeah.
And then it is Max's turn.
Do any of them currently look like they're planning to move, to flee, or to rush someone?
This guy looks like he's gonna jump up and get back in the fight, and this guy looks like he's gonna go after Jensen.
Okay.
And they're the two that have knock on yet.
Which is this guy the one that I tripped before?
He sure is.
Yeah, let's go for maximum comedic effect. I'm gonna try to trip him as soon as he rushes me again.
Okay. Well, we'll take his turn next then. As he rushes in, go and make your power.
I like the visual of this guy just can't stay on his feet the entire fight. He gets tripped by Max, he gets knocked prone by his friend, and then he trips again.
Oh, wait. It's this one.
Been rolling low, dude?
I rolled a d10 instead of a d12 last time. 13.
13? Yep, you trip him again. This time he doesn't even make it. He basically just loses his turn as he trips and he falls. As he's trying to get back up this time, though, he's like actively looking around. Like he's keen that something is going on now. This other one is going to rush Jensen and make a couple attacks with his little maces. Ugh.
I am
8 to
I
hit.
gotta dodge this one. Yeah, I gotta do it.
Yeah, you gotta dodge.
It's 11 to dodge. I'm rolling great today. Holy shit.
Second attack, offhand. That's a 9 to hit.
I got an 8. That hits.
That hits.
Yeah.
3 wounds of 3 bludgeoning damage.
I will take 1 through my armor.
Yeah, 1 wound. Okay.
Say, well, how rude of you.
You'll be letting him go, and we'll be taking your scalp. And then it is V's turn. Top of the order. Unless somebody else would like to go first.
What do you two
Chris
want
just
to
got to
go?
watch you guys fight tonight. I was like, he just got to be the audience.
Right? I'm just going to, do I want to pick this guy up and slam him on his prone friend again, or do I just want to curb stomp his prone friend?
Or knock his ass out, and then curb stomp his prone friend.
Yeah. I'm just going to pick him up and slam him down onto his friend again.
Sounds good. Go ahead and make a grapple.
Let's see, the first one is 16, the second one is...
And you have something that's making his
20.
difficult, right?
Yeah, the wrestler calling.
Yep, you successfully
feature.
grapple him.
Alright. And then another unarmed attack to slam him on top of his
Sure.
prone friend. 20.
They both take another wound of bludgeoning damage as you use one as a weapon against the other.
You should really stay down before you guys can't get up ever
The
again.
one that you're using as a weapon is down. He's like unconscious at this point.
Oh, so he's unconscious on top
Yeah.
of his prone.
You're just
I
like
it.
bludgeoning the other dude with an unconscious guy now.
I like it.
This guy is
Perfect.
going to shove to the side. He's going to rise to his feet and he's going to say, "We'll see about that." And he pulls from his coat and sparks the end of what essentially looks like a Molotov cocktail. And he's going to just melee attack it into your body.
Me or him?
V.
Or V. Okay.
So go ahead and make a dodge test for me, V. I'm going to spend momentum on this.
Okay. Well, I rolled about the best I could, so I got a 10.
And All right. He hits you. It slams against you. It deals 2 slashing damage,
So
and then it
slashing.
deals. Then when the Molotov actually explodes, it deals 4 fire damage to each of you.
Does that get reduced by
dies.
armor as well?
It sure does.
Alright, I take 2 fire damage. Did he just kill his friends too? That's
he
right
killed.
at our feet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Then, Jensen, it is or Max, it is one of your turns. There's one guy left.
One guy left.
Guy in front of you.
I'll like shield my face from the cocktail, and I'll say, "What are you and your friends playing at? It was some bullshit." And I'm gonna go to strike the guy in front of me.
All right. You draw the scimitar blade. It rings out in the night air, and you bring the strike down.
28.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so that's 4 without any monstrosity extras.
He goes down. It sinks into his shoulder, and as you pull the blade free, he gasps and he crumples to the lawn.
Shit. I'm sorry. No, it's 3. Does 3 still pop him?
Yep, it does.
Okay. I'm sorry. It was only 3.
It's okay. Still pops him. Leaving the 3 of you out on the lawn with Daria looking through the window. And a small fire that Harald has like rushed out and started hitting with extra curtain, basically.
I'll rip the guy's jacket off that I just killed, and I'll try to beat down the rest of the flame with Harald first.
Yeah, you rush over.
As I see them finish, can I do something?
Sure.
I would rush through finding any of the staff.
Okay. Yeah, you find Hannah and you find her father.
I would ask Hannah to run out to Glenn and tell him to grab a constable.
All right. Right away, sir.
And
she rushes out the door.
Rush back to my room to get presentable for constable showing.
Yeah.
Yeah. After I beat out the flame, I'm going to start tying the leader guy up, and then bring him back to consciousness if we can after that.
Sure. You want to bring him inside?
Yeah, I'll pick him up and drag him inside.
As you drag him back inside, the fire now out. Walking into the grand hall after the 2 of you is Harald, who's grumbling about the mess of the lawn that needs to be cleaned now and how there's still no gardener. Daria, you come down from your room. Much more presentable now. Your hair slicked back a little bit more. Your clothing straightened. And as you walk into the grand hall, you see that the 2 of them and Max have this guy in one of the chairs, and Jensen's like slapping him awake.
Yeah, I like toss his ass into a chair.
I imagine I somehow
broke.
I imagine I'm probably naked again since I just caught on fire.
No, I didn't like burn off all your clothes, but like your like top of your clothes and like your chest area are pretty like scraggly now, and it definitely shows that you're like an
undead.
Yeah, but it didn't like it's not like a video game where it like immediately burns all your clothes off or anything.
Okay, I'm gonna walk in. How come every set of clothes I get gets ruined?
We will definitely.
Now I need another one.
The constables are coming though.
No.
So it might be best for you to hide out of sight.
Yeah, I'll be in my room. Harald, could you get me another set of clothes at some point?
I'll see what I can find, sir.
And you too as well, thank you very much.
Well, alright.
I'm going to try and take a short rest up there to, 1, get some of my health back, and 2, maybe successfully get a long rest.
Sure, go for it. As that's happening, let's focus in on Jensen and Max and Daria. If you want to interrogate this guy at all, you know the constables will be here fairly soon.
Yeah, I'm going to say, before the constables get here, what, pray tell, were you and your boys doing? Your arm is you are the best off of all.
Exactly.
Keep talking.
We were doing exactly what we told that freak we were doing. Taking over the building. We thought it was abandoned.
What freak?
Yeah.
Maybe a few servants left, but there's hardly any activity. It seemed like an easy score. You have no idea the can of worms you've opened.
Now, just who will you taking it over for? You don't strike me as the type that's, top of the food chain, as it were.
His eyes settle on you. Oh, the jackal will have you for this.
The jackal. I'm gonna kind of like try to like catch Dare's eye.
Do I know what or who the jackal is?
Make a lore test. So could Max. He's been to the city a lot.
Right.
Well, I've seen many beasts in my time, and no jackal has ever bested me before.
Uh, 13.
Target number is 8.
I got 13.
I got an 8.
Yeah, both of you have heard vaguely about the jackal. He's like the serpent at the head of the snake that is the red hats, or at least he's believed to be. A lot of people think that the jackal used to be like a cat burglar type of criminal, but eventually like kind of forged their own empire out of the red hats and has control over like whole gangs and stuff now. They operate out of the lower districts. There's some speculation that at least with some of the constables, there's some kind of deals going on that allowed the operation to get this big compared to other criminal operations, but no proof.
I look back at the two of you before continuing talking.
I would share, just in a quick off to the side whisper to Jensen, who looked a little confused at the jackal.
Yeah. Well, might we have not wanted to bring the constables in quite yet then.
I think it would be best, actually. Show of force that we are still here, and my name holds power with the constables.
Fair enough. Hopefully we won't get one that's on the take. I'll look back at this guy.
I do not think they would openly go against a wealthy family, at least right now.
Oh, don't worry. The jackal will have all of you themselves. And I'm gonna break that freaky fucking chain chomp of yours.
Well, now, no you won't. Phil is going to outlast all of us, probably. I'm being... He thought you were quite tasty. I saved you.
Spits at your feet.
Mm.
As he does that, Hannah pushes in the doorway. Sir, I've found some constables.
Thank you, Hannah.
Would you like me to bring them in?
Yes, please.
She leans back out the door. This way, sir, this way. And 2 constables kind of step in. They look past you at the red hat. I'd assume that's his friends out there on the lawn.
Yes, they assaulted my manor.
The other constable shakes his head.
We defended
Fantastic.
ourselves.
By lighting them on fire?
They did that to themselves, actually. I know how strange that sounds.
Yeah, you gotta understand how that's hard to buy. The other constable cuts in. I've seen red hats do some pretty stupid stuff before.
I think they didn't realize just how stupid of a thing they did by counting us as making us enemies. And he tried to get himself out of the situation the best he knew how.
Max, from where you're standing, you can tell that the constables are pretty... They're unsure if they should trust these 2. Would you like to add anything to try to help?
Max will say, I'm afraid it's true, constables. The man outside pulled out a bottle of something flammable, alcohol, I would assume, and lit it and didn't seem to be quite as careful with that as someone ought to be where their own safety is concerned.
All right. Roll a shared persuasion test
Ooh.
of 15.
Oh, sheesh, that is not much.
You guys can use momentum.
Yeah.
Do you want to?
We should probably use momentum.
One of us should, probably.
Well, that would just drop the shared target
Yeah,
number
sure.
to 12.
I got no.
Oh, okay. I got 5, actually. Oh,
What did
What'd
you
you
get?
get, Chris?
I got 9.
Oh,
Oh, that's 14.
that is enough.
Yeah.
Would you want to roll anyways,
Um,
just to see how well you do? Because I might make them even more believership.
I got an 18.
Oh, wow.
I rolled max. I rolled max on both dice.
They look at each other. They both nod back and forth. And then
damn.
the slimmer of the two walks over and he grabs the guy by the arm. We'll send a trolley around and they'll load up those corpses out front. Perhaps high regard for the gate for the time being.
Yes.
And don't go pissing off any red hats in the city.
They attacked us unprompted.
I
did
know.
not
Just
miss
don't make it
them.
any worse and we'll do what we can, okay? Just listen to the officer.
Thank you, constables.
They drag the red hat out. You hear one of them blowing a whistle, trying to get more if there's anyone else nearby to come over.
I'll call after him. Thank goodness for you and your boys, Constable. Who knows what could happen?
No response.
Yeah. I said it sarcastically.
Hannah,
was not hiding it.
Hannah shuts the doors. Well, it's been quite a morning, sir. It's nice to see you up.
It has been a morning, hasn't it?
Yes, definitely. I'll go make everyone some tea. And she'll kind of rush to the kitchens.
Well, you are up quite quickly after going to sleep, I imagine.
Yes, well. I still have the rest of the day ahead of me.
You or your family ever been accosted by these red hats before?
I can't speak for my family after I left, but no, not until today.
Maybe that sad sack was telling the truth, and they were trying to take easy pickings.
It could be. I suppose I might need to hire a gardener then. Take care of the grounds. Hire a guard. Can't count on you to just stay here and protect my manor, can I?
Well, when we're not here, we can't exactly protect it, but
As all of you settle in, V, you get the signal from Harold and some new clothes to come down in. And where would you like everyone to talk together? Chris, this would be a good time in and out of character for you to discuss the headquarters and what's possible with it and stuff with them. Because probably not all of them have even read that. So where would you like to entertain everyone? The library, maybe? Or the gallery?
Yeah, I would go to the Grand Library.
Dari leads you all into the Grand Library. You can see that scattered around the tables are plans and things he's working on. Most of them, for all of you to look at, are kind of confusing, like you're not even sure what they're for, but some of them are schematics for improvements on the estate. And Dari, I'll let you take this away. Unless you want me to explain the feature, I guess.
Well, I mean, the feature itself is granting the manor. We have a place to stay. You guys are welcome, of course. And we got some non-combat staff that run the place currently.
None of them None of them are like combat statted characters that you get from it initially, but they're all NPCs that are considered loyal to Chris.
Yes.
So you don't have to be worried about like one of them like being a bad guy or anything like that, because they're all loyal to Chris.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris is
Cool. Yeah. It's cool. We got a second location. That's nice.
It's the primary location.
This will be the primary one. Yeah, that's true.
Unless you guys want to go back to Lambeth Hollow. That place is super
Well,
fun.
the lodge is
Oh, yeah,
technically
true.
kind of like this too, but
Well,
in
this
the
is
city,
like in
probably
the
more
city,
yeah, more advantageous, I imagine.
And once like any staff had come in and dropped off drinks or snacks or whatever,
They bring in whatever you request.
I would then show these two. I assume V would already know, but the secret door in the wall of the library to the secret library next door.
Oh.
What is the secret entrance to the secret library?
I think it's like turning a candlestick
Okay.
to the left.
Yeah.
Proper, like just the proper amount, and then
Somewhat.
it unlocks one of the shelves for the library, and you can like push it into the secret library.
He leads you into the secret library where he has even more schematics and tomes and scrolls and little art pieces. As it closes somewhere in the distance, you hear somebody say, "Put the candle back."
This is also somewhat of a safe room, should we ever need it.
What a treasure trove you have, Doctor.
You are welcome to read anything, but I would please just make sure you are not followed if you open the door to this library.
Max would already be perusing the books.
On this very subject, I have something to discuss with you that I was doing on my research the last couple of nights in libraries, and something to do with maybe helping you purify your blood or purify the blood of one of your kind, used for medicinal purposes. I imagine you've probably already know that. You're a smart fella, but the monster hunters, the guilds, have learned how to do it, and I think I could teach you if you need to.
I would be open to this. Anything that would help my craft, so to speak.
Yes, and I thought the more I knew about you, the more I could learn how to help you, potentially. And I mean, I've encountered other vampires before, but none that have not wanted to kill me and drink my blood, so this is new territory. But, yes.
Speaking of healing, were you injured in that fight?
Oh, they nicked me. He did nick me once, but he took the brunt of it.
And V, how are you feeling? I think I have...
I was resting and tending my wounds while you guys were talking to the constable, so I feel fine now.
Oh, good.
So I was wondering if... Do you think you could make my skin even tougher?
I could certainly look into it. I don't know how off the top of my head, but we could. And I'll glance at you two, at the other two, and then back to me. We could head to the lab.
Well, that is probably the most interesting place besides this in the manor, I imagine. He says with like a true smile on his face. He wants to see your work, where you work.
I'd say it's more interesting than this place, but I guess everybody has their own thoughts.
But, one thing first, I did figure out something with my new self, and I'll just hold a hand out to you, Jensen, and then place a hand on your shoulder and cast heal on you.
Ooh. Well, now that feels good. This isn't some kind of hemomantic blood magic or anything, is it?
You will hear a woman's voice. No, hemomancy isn't capable of that kind of magic.
Well, now what was that one's name?
That's Gladys. She's weird. She likes blood and shit.
You say that, I do think I am able to do this because of my new form.
All right. It does feel you seem to have mastered it already.
It does seem to fit in with my line of work.
Yeah. I'll kind of like shake my shoulders a little bit like that.
I don't seem to be able to do it at will, though. Only a few times per day, it seems.
Oh, okay.
It does drain a bit of my energy.
Has it allowed you to tap into the more magical parts of this world? Then that's what this is. No.
I hadn't thought about it that way. Perhaps.
Interesting.
And as I'm saying that, I'm walking around to a small reading desk that's in there, and I pull open a drawer, and then you see me reach in, and I'm fiddling with something, and then the whole desk, along with the floor it's connected to, rolls back, revealing a spiral staircase down.
Oh, well, this is something straight out of a not Dickens, a Sherlock Holmes novel. Truly.
Sure.
Was he around yet?
Wow, this is a completely different fantasy world. So
this could be straight out of a Charlotte Price novel.
Yeah, it could be straight out of a Charlotte Price
novel. That's what I say. That's what I was about to say. Well, this surely could have been part of one of Mrs. Price's novels right here.
She probably would have loved the mansion.
Wow, imagine.
Your secret room has a secret room, Doctor. I am impressed.
Let's sit down there, and then we'll see what we can do for UV. Although I think it's only testing right now.
Mechanically, Matt, I'm essentially just going to be saving up for the near invulnerability feature from the physique.
Okay, cool. I like that. How many more points do you need to get there?
8. I need 8 more points.
Okay, so this first phase will be him figuring out.
Yeah, my anime power-up got me the prereqs for it, so now I just need to get the 8 more points to actually get it.
Best feature name, my anime power-up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Chris, I'm going to just keep letting you got control of this. You know what the lab looks like and stuff.
Yeah, so you guys, we head down a spiral staircase. It goes down probably like 20 or so feet. It'd be a tall floor, but it's a large basement underneath. And then you see the very stereotypical Frankenstein type lab setup with huge electrodes, wires running up to the ceiling, and there's a full chemistry set in the center. Doesn't look like it's boiling anything right now, but it does look like it's been used recently, as well as a couple looks like medical slabs for autopsies, essentially. And then just shelves and shelves of random tools, random body parts in jars, all kinds of crap. Anything that he thinks is remotely cool, too, just sort of on a shelf somewhere.
Not a creepy basement at all, you know?
A true mad scientist lab.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now this is impressive. I don't think I ever seen half of the apparatuses in here. I have hands on hips, and I'm just kind of taking it all in with a genuinely amazed look on my face.
It's not surprising. I did invent at least half of them.
Well, impressive.
Max would start strolling around looking for anything that looks magical.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that appear magical, especially when you mess with them and they start to like fulfill whatever half of their intended function was that he got them to, but you're fairly certain that everything you're finding is pretty much just technological invention, and this guy is just like way ahead of his time. Some like Tesla coils crackling in different areas, kind of like all kinds of like technology that like has barely even been dreamed up by others yet.
If there is anything magical in here, it would be a surprise to me as well.
Well,
Do you-
know,
Do you well wait.
is the magic that linked me and
Can you
Starry?
wait.
Okay.
Can you kick on are you kicking on sense magic?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you're moving through this area, you do eventually get to this large, broken mechanical apparatus, and you do sense some kind of lingering magical touch there. It doesn't feel intended, though. It feels obtrusive. It's like made itself part of a process. It's not that it wasn't intended to be part of. It's like a infection in the machine.
Can I tell the type of source?
It is
Otherworldly.
Yeah, it's otherworldly. It doesn't feel
Max
like
will.
basically it doesn't feel like it originated on this plane from this plane of existence.
Max would stop in front of that one and study it, and be leaning over and looking under parts and things like that, and say, "My good doctor, whatever is this one for?"
That one, and I'll just look at V. That one is what brought him to his current state.
That's where I was born.
I don't think I would say
Matt-
in your case.
Max will turn to V and study him for a second, and then look back at the apparatus and gesture sort of vaguely as if he's looking for a word. And he says, "Were you aware that it appears to have, caught a cold, magically speaking? There's some sort of lingering
No,
energy here that seems out of place."
no, there was no magic present. I made this.
But
what do you mean
would
magic?
you
What,
have-
what kind of magic?
But would you have known if there was? Max says, sort of to himself. He'd say, something otherworldly, not from these lands. Can't quite put my finger on it, but it certainly doesn't belong here, and not just on this device, mind you, but here, this the Aethergarde.
In the background, I'm gonna do my trusty pull my sword out and see if it's glowing.
No.
Can you tell if it was magic used when I used it, or it was something trying to perhaps steal my knowledge?
1 second.
This is interesting. I didn't expect all of this stuff to get out this early.
Always plan for the unexpected.
I dig it.
You gave me a secret lab, and I'm not gonna show them.
You know, Chris, I'm used to you slow rolling stuff like this. It's cool that your character trusts them this much. I guess you did mention earlier that we're almost at 1 year, so
Could I use reverberation of knowledge with this device to see how long the magical effect has been upon it?
Sure.
Oh, that's sick.
Yes.
Describe. Describe how you your spell casting and all that.
So Max will do a few little things like tap his cane on it and things like that, and he'll make some notes. And then he'll whirl around and say, "Doctor, I might be able to determine how this energy got here, but I'm going to need a handful of reagents. Fortunately, we seem to be in the middle of a lab. Now, if you could direct me to the..."
Yes.
And then he'll just start listing off random components and looking around for them.
Assuming I have anything he's saying, I'll start piling them up for him.
Yeah, you start gathering stuff up with him. Jensen, what are you doing? And V, what are you doing?
He'll start doing a little, like, alchemy sort of stuff with it and then go back over to the device.
As the two of these people drop you and go into Bill Nye mode.
Yeah. I will, I'll kind of, like, look down at the sword and kind of, like, nod at myself. Okay, it's not anything that bad. I'm going to go up to it. I'm going to say, well, when you say infections usually fester, take time to take root. I imagine that's what this spell you're going to do is going to tell us. When was the last time, my good doctor, that you used this particular invention?
That would be when V joined me
Okay.
in waking up.
Is that...
You can know when that exact date is. I don't know if we've ever discussed it, but if like your character would know, then you would know.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
tell them.
Okay.
That thought occurred to me too about we never really established how long I've been alive.
How many years has he been alive? Can we establish that really quick?
Yeah, like and player knowledge, not character knowledge.
At least a few years, yeah.
5?
3,
A few.
5.
More than 5?
A little less than 5.
3.
Yeah, around 3-ish. Let's go with 3-ish.
Okay. 1 sec. Alright, what does the reverberation of knowledge spell look like?
So he mortars and pestles some things and mixes some things and pours some things and then gets a whole concoction going and then brings it over to the device and then sits down with his cane in his lap and a little bowl of stuff in front of him, and he'll pull out his little notebook and start reading incantations from it. And then when you use this power, you spend 10 minutes meditating on your material components, allowing your arcane energy to meld with the psychic energy left behind by their previous owners. So in this case, I would be choosing the apparatus. When the power is complete, a well of psychic knowledge is created that you can tap into, giving you access to all of that creature's knowledge. So I don't know if there's a specific creature involved here, but...
You're not able to immediately pull anything from that spellcraft. Except the exact date that whatever this magic was came in contact with it.
Okay. All right. So after the 10 minutes are up, Max will look slightly drained, and he'll pick up his cane and use it to push himself to his feet and say, as best as I can approximate, the energy, whatever it is, has been here since approximately midnight, the night of the 30th of Nosttion, 3 years ago.
That's the night I was born.
That would be quite the coincidence.
When that spell attempted to accumulate the knowledge related to it, you felt this great strain on your mind, Max.
As if I was being like directly resisted.
Not. You felt like a flea just like bouncing off of something like massive. Is like how I would describe it. Like you felt
Okay, so
you felt like one of those
intentional resistance.
Yeah, you felt like one of those kelp fish that just gets randomly sucked in by a whale shark as it's passing by.
Great.
Like and you feel like you could keep studying it with reverberation of knowledge, but because that main thing you were looking for was trying to figure out the date, you were able to push through and lock on to like just like this kind of instinctual feeling for that like exact moment that this strange energy became attached to this device.
So if I were looking for other very specific things, I might be able to like poke through and get them again. Okay.
Yes, but you also feel like the more you push yourself in short bursts to do things, the more dangerous it's going to become for you.
Yes.
So you feel like the next time you do that, you might actually take like some wounds to your sanity or something. Is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. Have I ever felt anything like this before?
Nope. It feels completely otherworldly, just completely alien to you. It's kind of freaky, actually.
Okay. Max will pull out a handkerchief and sort of dab his brow and say, "What I wouldn't give for an expert in other worlds right now. If only we knew someone with that sort of expertise."
Can you tell anything else? Dari's head is just down, staring at the floor.
Not at present. It would take a great deal of effort to learn much more, and I'm not against trying. You understand? But I may need to do it in with some breaks in between attempts.
When you are feeling up to it, was this magic here before V woke up?
Do I have any notion of that at present?
Well, he said it was at midnight, and that's when I woke up, isn't it?
Midnight is specifically like when you kicked the machine on. I can see the wheels spinning in James's head right now.
I think I missed something. Something's not adding up, but I'll go back and watch it.
Can you just see if you can figure that out, please? I'm going to pick up.
Max will say, "Yes, of course. Let me just go about preparing another batch and give myself a little breather, and I'll see what I can do."
I'm heading back up the staircase.
You just walk away from them?
Yep.
Dari leaves. Unceremoniously.
Would this be something that we should be more concerned about than we already are?
It'd be why I died, or when Dare went down at the Vampire's Manor.
Right.
Can magic like that exist, Max? That like links people?
Well, certainly there are types of magic that can link the energies or souls, if you will, of different people. But with something like this from another plane of existence, I'm afraid I'm not an expert in such things. I don't know exactly what it's capable of.
Where can we go in this city to find someone who is this kind of expert? Is there somebody here?
Well, I would imagine.
Director Max.
Well, I would imagine the museum has some people that might study this sort of thing, or at least relics, artifacts that purport to come from other worlds. Barring that, there's also the Aethergarde Magisterium. It's a bit of a dusty academic place, if you ask me, but they do study the arcane arts, if you will. They might know something there that could help.
Well, the museum, you plucked that thought right out of my noggin. We're already going there, so we should definitely inquire with the right minds there. If Veers ends up being, something valuable, then maybe they will believe that they owe us a little something. Maybe knowledge can be that something.
Indeed, it's certainly worth the attempt.
The doctor seems.
I think after this, I will return to the library, assuming the good doctor doesn't mind. And he seems to have quite the collection. I saw a couple of tomes that could have at least passing references to energies of other planes. It might be worth a look.
That's a good
I
idea.
don't know if it'll help, but I know Harold would come down and just like help pull levers or move stuff if you needed to. Well, I've never seen Harold do anything magic related.
Oh, well, this here fancy concoction that you did to learn about this, can it be used on people?
Maybe Harold saw something, even if he, I doubt he did anything, but...
Yeah, he does not seem like the malicious type, but he might have seen something without knowing.
Yeah.
It is more designed for use on inanimate objects, but perhaps if Harold had something that he regularly keeps with him, wears, or on his person that would have been there when he was down here helping, that could work.
Do I know of anything like that Harold would always like have on him and has for?
He would wear like a smock when he was working down there.
I'll point to the wall. I think that was his smock while he was down here.
Very good, very good. I'll see if I can get anything off it. Which brings up an interesting question. V, do you have anything any possessions that you've had since you awoke, as the doctor put it?
Would my ring have been there since I woke up, Matt?
Up to you.
I'll say yeah, that I had the ring since I've never really known what it was. I'll point to the ring on my finger. I've had this since I woke up. I don't really know what it does, but it feels wrong if it's not there.
Well, if you don't mind, I would love to do a little bit of an experiment with it to see if it has any sort of connection to the energies plaguing this device. If there is some sort of connection, that might give us some sort of indication as to how involved these energies are with you and your connection to the dear doctor.
Do you need me to take it off?
Well, as long as you can sit very still, I don't see any reason why you couldn't keep it on.
Yeah, I'm dead. That's not really a problem.
Excellent. Well, in that case, let me get started. And he'll go back to mixing reagents and stuff again, and then use reverberation of knowledge on the ring when he's done.
Can you read it to me one more time? Just want to make sure I don't miss anything.
When you use this power, you spend 10 minutes meditating on your material components, allowing your arcane energy to meld with the psychic energy left behind by the previous owners. When the power is complete, a well of psychic knowledge is created that you can tap into, giving you access to all of that creature's knowledge. Once active, the well remains active for an hour, allowing you time to sift through the knowledge to try to find the answers you seek. And you make a study roll, and depending on your result, you can get information.
Yeah, you do make a connection there. You start to gain all these broken memories. It feels like whoever possessed this ring and wore it in life, they were some kind of powerful, some kind of master of hemomancy. What would you like to look for when you sift through their knowledge?
I'd like to know if they ever experimented or had any expertise in otherworldly powers.
You draw upon incidents in their lives where their hemomantic magic had corrupting effects, not unlike otherworldly magics will when they touch this plane. But you don't feel a specific connection to the machine. However, you do glean something about how those otherworldly connections with hemomancy are created. It's something about the energy that hemomantic magic can give off sometimes that draws on otherworldly attentions.
Okay.
Perhaps that's something that other types of energy can draw the attention of as well.
Is it specifically when it's like particularly powerful?
Yes. It's when it's particularly like powerful or like metaphorically like bright. Some beacons are created by accident. Some on purpose.
Is Dare's device something that I would think could have been that sort of beacon? Or
not a hemomantic
would it? Right.
But possibly. It does have a very strange energy about its technology.
Did I sense any other kind of magic to it besides the otherworldly stuff?
No. As far as you can tell, before it was touched by this otherworldly energy, it was just a technological device.
So it would have had to have been something other than magic that attracted the otherworldly energy.
Something else about the machine, maybe.
Okay.
And the fact that it brought a human to life, or well, brought V to life, seems like a pretty significant event. Interesting.
And can Max tell that there's hemomantic energy to V?
You've seen him do magical things before, and they usually involved like self-inflicted pain as part of their casting.
Okay, so it's something he could reasonably surmise.
You feel like there's some evidence of that, probably.
And you've heard one of his personalities talk multiple times about
hemomancy. The female one has talked about hemomancy multiple times.
Can I tell if the previous wearer of this ring was male or female?
It's hazy.
Okay. Max would come out of the trance, and he'd breathe heavily for a moment and dab his brow again and say, "Well, there you are, V. You can have your hand back now. It seems that this ring was once worn by a rather skilled hemomancer."
Maybe it was Gladys's. Hey Gladys, was this your ring? Does Gladys answer?
She can if she wants.
What was it, her ring? Yes, that was mine, dear. And helped channel my powers to be greater.
Well,
fascinating.
Max, that would give you some inkling that it's possible that V might be able to tap into this ring as well. Maybe he doesn't know how to tap into it right now.
Out of character, I have subconsciously tapped into it once.
Well, V, my dear fellow, this ring does truly enhance hemomatic powers, and your ancestor, as it were, once wore it. It's quite possible that you could learn to harness its abilities as well, seeing as you appear to use some sort of hemomancy, whether you realize it or not.
I mean, I always kind of figured it was, I was borrowing Gladys's power. To be honest with you, every time I awaken a new skill or skill set, there seems to be a new person who wakes up in my head.
How intriguing. Do you have an estimate of how many people are currently at residence in your head?
Well, there are 3 that have been nice and introduced themselves and talked back. And then there was one guy who just randomly shouted out one day and has never spoken again, but he was saying something like the world will burn or he'll take control. But he didn't introduce himself, so I don't know who he is, or I didn't seem to get any new skills either when he came out.
As V is
rather concerning.
As V is talking to the two of you, you would notice that his left eye is slowly going more bloodshot, and it's like jittering around in his head.
Does he seem to notice that that's happening?
Nope. It's just kind of happening as his other eye is staring at you and he's talking to you.
Max will sort of casually pull out the dragon shard and start polishing it as he keeps talking, and then hold it up like he's seeing if it's clean, but looking at V's misbehaving eye.
There's something going on there. He has kind of like this stain of hemomantic magic over his whole person, and that eyeball is shining particularly bright right now. In particular, it's like very red.
any of these other personalities possessed an expertise with hemomancy?
No, there is Gladys who had hemomancy, and then there's Cecil who he was a fighter. He was a boxer in life, and then there's Gustav who he just was really into fitness.
The eye goes back to normal.
Jim, bro.
That's exactly what I have on my notes for his Jim Pro.
Hopefully you didn't get his penis.
I mean,
was
you've all seen my penis. Remember, you guys saw me naked the first time we all met.
That's right.
And this uncommunicative one, do they have a name? Do they give any inclination of who they are or anything about themselves? Besides
No,
their
just-
aggressive nature?
Just that he would take control and the world would burn or something like that. He was a real dick. He didn't
Does
seem
he-
very nice.
Does his eye start doing anything when he starts talking about this person again?
It starts jittering again.
Well,
V,
now.
you seem to have developed a bit of a tick. And Max will look meaningfully at Jensen.
Oh yeah, have I noticed it by now?
Yeah,
While
the
you're
energy
talking?
you're getting from how this eye is like moving and stuff is kind of like when you put the kettle on and you leave it on so long the top starts shaking. That's like kind of like how that's like the energy, the vibe his eye is giving off.
Well, now, how? What were you doing, V, when this unnamed fella made his proclamations?
It was at the graveyard right before or right after we met. I was in the tomb. I think. I think Starry was there, wasn't he?
I think he came out in front of the party once briefly, but I can't remember at what moment earlier in the story that it happened.
I'm
Because
pretty
I
sure.
remember Charlotte.
I do
was
remember it
concerned.
happening.
I remember Charlotte was pretty concerned after it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember it happening, but I don't remember the exact circumstance, the context of it happening.
it was really early in the campaign.
Well, maybe your father, the good doctor, knows a little bit more about these folks since he's the one that put you together.
Yeah, maybe he knows whose body parts I have.
It seems odd that your eye is twitching like that when you talk about this unnamed fella.
The dead.
Yes.
Max, as he brings the conversation back to the unnamed fellow, the eye starts twitching again.
Oh, see, there it is.
Yes, I think it might be best if you limit the extent to which you think about him. It seems to... Well, if I were to hazard a guess, it seems to increase his ability to affect your body.
I don't really like that.
An interesting observation, Maximilian. The other personalities inside of you, the voices, whatever, however corporeal or not they are, do you think about certain things and they all become more active, or maybe become a little bit more dominant in your head when you think about certain things? Like, what happens? When did Gladys come to the fore?
When hemomancy is being talked about,
Okay.
she usually, like, I can talk to them, but sometimes they'll just like blurt out if they have information that I don't consciously have. Though honestly, they have holes in their memories too, and I've barely been able to tap into Gladys's power at all, so she's got a lot of holes. The most complete one is Cecil.
See, he's a boxer. That makes sense. You are quite a formidable opponent in and outside of the ring.
But, talking about fist fighting rarely comes up, so he's usually pretty dormant, unless I ask him to teach me some stuff.
Oh. Do we know, as out of character, how many bodies he's made of? Is that a thing? Am I remembering? Did we ever talk about that? No? Okay.
Well, Chris has the haunted feature and is haunted by 8 ghosts.
Yeah, that's how. Is that just player knowledge?
Well, we've seen 8 spirits appear with the ghost candle, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
So you could be definitely like putting together some theories as characters.
Yeah. But how to unlock all those other voices?
I don't know. They just kind of happen when I need them, And then once they're there, I can try to get more actively from them.
Sure. Maximilian, how? I'm not familiar with all of them. I know there are different sources where that this world's magic is pulled from. How many sources of magic, like yours, is, I imagine, arcane? It seems very, algorithmic and arithmetic, if you will. I imagine it's arcane and otherworldly, like you were saying. Obviously, a different thing. How many of them are there in our world that we know of?
I know of 4. Does psionic count, Matt? Or is that a separate?
This is more of a Matt question, but in character, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know arcane, primal, otherworldly, and divine.
Yeah, those are the 4 magical sources. Psionic is considered psionic is studied as more of a scientific thing.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Max would give you a brief background on what he knows about arcane, divine, primal, and otherworldly. He'd go on it in greater length, of course, about arcane, but
yeah.
Gladys would chime in and just add, hemomancy can tap into pretty much all of those, but only in the arts that affect only themselves.
That makes sense. Well, I myself was concocting a little theory that maybe each one of them, souls that's haunting your father, might be of a different source. And maybe that's how this here contraption works. Maybe it requires a little bit of every kind of source of magic, primal and arcane, all them things that he just knew. Is that possible? I'm gonna look at Max, or am I just way out over my sled?
Well, go ahead.
Maybe the fact that he's haunted by 8 spirits and the fact that there's some kind of magic possibly tying us together. I got their physical parts and he got their spirits.
Well, that would be concerning.
Oh, I don't know how that would have happened because he's never studied magic.
Yes. He seemed genuinely not to be, he was genuinely alarmed about this source of magic that you found on his invention. It seemed like he was telling the truth there. So
well, he wouldn't be
the vampire guy said something similar when he was angry I couldn't enter the church.
Right.
Because he thought him and Dare were in the same business of raising the dead scientifically. But then I couldn't enter the church. Maybe that had to do with the magic that we didn't know about till now.
Right.
Well, he wouldn't be the first to stumble upon something magical in the name of science, but it certainly isn't a common occurrence.
Hmm.
As to your theory, Mr. Jensen, it could well be that all 4 of the known magical sources are represented among the persons that went into bringing thee into the world, but as far as I can tell from what we've heard, there doesn't seem to be anything arcane or anything else about Cecil or the Gustav.
Right. Right. Well, maybe they were more the physical representations of our good friends here's strength and constitution, as it were.
And there could certainly be more as yet unrepresented personalities dormant that align more with divine or primal sources.
I imagine that folks that can tap into sources of magic would probably be the best ones at hiding it if they did not want people to know that they were magical and such. So that does make sense.
Well, I can tell you, this is Cecil. I've never touched none of that magic shit. Yeah, bro, me neither. Magic is for sissies, bro.
I don't know about that. We know 2 particularly powerful people that can utilize magic. One of them sitting in this rear room.
Max will mime looking around.
What can he bench press, bro? That's the question.
Well, I do believe that between the 2 of you, that would account for how good you are at holding your own against the things we've come up against so far.
Yeah, they've both proven really helpful.
Yes. I gotta tell you, I got a pit in my stomach learning all this today. Very concerning.
Yes, these are certainly some worrisome developments. I suppose the next logical course of action would be to ask the dear doctor, if he seems up to it, whether he knows anything about the bodies he recycled.
What a choice of words, recycled.
I'm made of 100% recycled parts.
Look at you, so progressive.
Would the 3 of you like to go try to find Dari?
That's what Max would intend to do.
Yep.
I'll follow.
Dari, as they go to search the manor for you, where would they find you?
In the main library of the manor, not the secret one. And you would see sitting, just tipped over on a table, a couple empty decanters, a half-filled cup of water, or cup of whatever was in the decanters.
As they enter the library, Max would say, my dear doctor, I must say I'm disappointed. Try as I might, I cannot find an additional secret lab beneath your secret lab.
He's on the list.
It's... That's funny.
You'd also
is
see
there...
him tuck a bottle of laudanum into the breast pocket of his jacket.
Max would pour himself and Jensen a drink again, and then have a seat near Dari.
We were doing some thinking downstairs and trying to piece together parts of the puzzle, but we might have a couple questions for you, Doctor. If you are feeling up to it.
I feel fine. I can't get drunk.
Max would say, truly a blessing and a curse.
Yes. What did you need to know?
Now, if you don't mind me asking, we were wondering if you happen to know anything about the pieces that went into making the composite that is V. You see, there are. We're wondering if there could be any ties between any of their former lives and the energies inhabiting your device down there.
I probably took notes of who I knew. I went for what was the freshest.
They weren't chosen with any sort of discrimination. They were just whatever was there.
They were chosen by what parts were untainted and what I needed in the order in which I could get them to be as fresh as possible.
Well, if we could take a look at your notes on the subjects when it's convenient, that would potentially be helpful. Are you aware of the unnamed inhabitant of Dear V's skull that seems to be intent on destroying the world or some such melodramatic nonsense?
I think I've seen it pop up once. But I don't know.
So far, that's the best lead we have on ties to otherworldly sources of power. Although I did glimpse that Gladys may have touched upon the otherworldly incidentally in her time, though it didn't seem, as far as I was able to determine, that she ever intentionally delved into it.
I am new to this magic, if that is what I do know. Is there any way you could bring this hidden personality forward in him?
Well, and the Max will exchange a glance with Jensen. It seems that V talking about him, perhaps even thinking about him, gets his attention in some way. It causes a certain tick in V's eye whenever he discusses him. It's possible we might be able to draw him out in that way, but I'm not sure that would necessarily be a good idea, based on his stated inclinations.
Yes, I tend to agree. It seems like we can't. But that leads me to another thought, though, that maybe if we knew you took notes, I'm sure you took extensive notes, and to what body parts are to what persons, maybe that is how we suss out all of the hidden potential hidden personalities.
If we had their names, we could at least try to research who they were in life.
Yes, the city of Aethergarde does keep records of births and deaths and things like that. We might be able to find some information.
We could hire a private investigator or something to look into the list of names.
Now, if only we knew someone who was an expert in investigating. Could really use someone like that right now.
He could. You're not wrong.
Well, I do have a list of names of those that I knew the names of, yes. It was not everyone.
Well, that would certainly give us a place to start. And we can cross-reference with the ones that have introduced themselves to thee. That should help.
Yes. maybe saying their names around V, or talking about what they were in life, will catch the attention, as you so put it, of some of these other personalities.
Yes, I rather suspect that what would be most attractive to them would be putting V in some sort of circumstance related to their lives. The others seem to have come out when he needed their particular expertise. So if we could figure out the professions of some of these other personalities, we might be able to arrange circumstances for V such that they could introduce themselves.
Good thought.
Well, if we go back down, we can grab my list.
After you, dear doctor.
V? V?
Yeah.
Roll a control test against a target number of 12 for me.
Okay. I can hit that if I roll my max. I will use momentum if you guys are good with that.
Yep.
7. Damn. Max and momentum.
You feel your head get heavy, and those of you that are watching V see both of his eyes start to jitter, go bloodshot, and then red tears running down his face.
Max would pop his pocketbook back out.
Oh, well, now, V, can you hear me? Can you...
You're trying to find me. I've been right here the whole time.
Well, excuse us for not knowing you did not make your presence known, now did you?
It's hard. V keeps stuffing me back inside. I won't be trapped.
Well, maybe we can help you. What is your name?
I'm going to squeeze the air from your lungs, fat man.
Well, this one is rambunctious. I would like to see you try that.
V, can you roll 2 unarmed attacks as you rush?
I'm going to attempt to parry the first one.
You sure can.
16 on the first one. And 13 on the second one.
Well, the first one is what I'm trying to parry. So that is going to be a 28.
It sure was.
I'll parry the first one, do damage to you, unfortunately. Well, if I can pull that punch, I wouldn't try to do the damage. And then the dodge is just a 6.
Well, you can just choose to make sure the damage is not lethal.
Okay, then I will do that on the parry strike, and then I will roll a 6 and get hit on the second one.
Is the parry strike a flat 1 damage, or is it your attack?
Yes.
Okay, so that you would just shrug off the parry strike. V.
Yeah, wouldn't do anything anyway.
A V is an undead, which means you get your monster hunter bonuses.
Oh, okay, yeah, then it's 5. It's 5 damage. Oh well, I'm not attacking, so I don't actually get anything.
You slash the front. Oh well. Oh yeah, that's true. You're just dodging on the second one.
Yes, and I did not dodge. I got a 6.
Yeah. What's your flat damage? 3.
3.
Okay. Jensen, you're sent back into the wall. It like actively cracks as you crash into it.
Motherfucker! I'm gonna give myself a...
wouldn't stand a chance.
This is not a fight you want, whoever the fuck you are.
Who would like to act next?
I mean...
Would I know enough about what's going on to think using interrupt power could disrupt his control of V?
You don't think that it's a spell effect that caused the switch. So, no, you do not think that would work.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna attempt to hit it. Like, I'm gonna come at him like as hard as I can.
All right.
And try to slash him.
And Jensen brandishes the scimitar and rushes in. The fight pushes through this library room into the side chamber, leaving the two of you in the library as they break through the door, battling back and forth.
23 to hit.
I can't dodge that, so...
Okay. Cool. So yeah, I'm going to do my normal 5, but I'm going to pay my reaction to an extra 2, so I'm going to do 7.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take as an extra action, I think.
And you're going to attack again?
No, I'm going to try to use the shove action, and I'm gonna flavor it as I'm going to like headbutt him and try to send him back into the wall behind him. Okay. So as an extra action, you make a contested athletics check against a creature adjacent to you. If you succeed in the contest, that creature is pushed back. This is a feat of strength, so I use my athletic points, whatever they're called.
Yeah, you have
athletics.
To athlete point to do it.
Athlete pools, yeah. So I use one of my 4 athlete points, and I attempt to show you.
So that's contested athletics.
Contested
so
athletics.
You're at difficulty.
Okay.
And I made it easy, so that was 11 the first one and 13 on the second one.
Oh shit! Well, the first one I did terrible, so that's probably what it's going to end up being. Yes, it is just 4 plus. Yeah, it's just 5 actually.
The entity sidesteps the shove. As he pushes back, you see those drops, those tears of blood forming into a churning orb in front of the entity. And then the entity is going to activate its solo boss ability to take a turn.
Jesus.
And it is going to activate a power, Maximilian.
I would like to.
Well, you guys keep trusting me to make characters.
You would like to interrupt. What strength would you like to interrupt?
That's a great question. Let me consult my
gut
spellcasting tome.
I don't know, Max. Up to you. Your spellcasting tome's the voice actor who did Goofy. Guess the spell.
It just knows absolutely nothing about magic.
Yeah. I don't even know why I'm here, dude.
Got along with my hands, and you're not going to do that anymore.
All right, what are we doing?
I took my turn.
Okay.
No, it's his turn. I'm waiting for
Max
to decide what strength he's interrupting it.
Yeah, I'm reading the additional effects. Yeah, okay. I'm going to cast it at a strength of 4. And I'm going to take the additional effect that you gain knowledge of the targeted power for the next hour.
Okay. This is going to require a power test on your part.
Okay.
And this is contested.
Lovely.
If you're lucky, he uses my ranks of power, because I don't have any.
He doesn't.
I don't think you're going to get that lucky.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect so.
Your dice pool's pretty good, though. It's like almost as good as his.
Great.
It actually is as good as his. He did roll.
All right. Well, my roll was not as good as his, I presume. I did get +2, so that's 5.
Explodes. The power releasing from it. Your magic isn't strong enough to interrupt. I need everyone in the room to make Constitution tests against a target number of 12. And
I'm assuming that does not include me.
Now you're immune. And it is difficult.
Against what?
Target number of
I
12.
can't pass it.
Can you pass it with momentum?
No.
I also can't pass it either way.
Okay.
I got
What about you?
14.
Okay. All right. Each of you takes 3 necrotic damage. Armor would prevent some of this for some of you.
Okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
I don't have.
Oh wait, that's the wrong thing. Oh wait, no, that is the.
You don't have armor. Do you have spell armor somehow?
No.
Arcane protection.
Oh yeah. Okay. And then as the eyes jitter in the head, they start to seep more of that blood until the bloodshot kind of like haze around them. The clouds start to sift away. And I'll be free soon enough. V. You come to, standing in the room, blood boiling the skins of your allies. Broken walls, cracked walls, broken furniture, a disjointed door. It seems that there's been like a big fight in this room.
What the
I'm gonna
hell
give you-
happened?
I'm gonna give you one more chance to give control back before I kill you.
Wait,
I look like I'm about to
who
attack
give-
you again.
Who give control back to who? What happened? I'm gonna have my fist raised, looking around for whoever we're fighting.
Max will say, Mr. Jensen, I do believe we've already accomplished that goal. As he pushes himself up and starts trying to brush some of the blood off.
I'll slowly lower my sword. I'm bloody and my clothes are disheveled and I'm breathing hard.
You
What
attacked
happened?
us, V. You attacked us. Well, not you, but someone in
The unnamed that won't talk to us. Talk to us. Put it that way.
Oh. Do I have any recollection of that at all, Matt?
Nope.
Did he say who he was?
Not exactly.
He just more of a dick again.
introduced himself by attacking Jensen, and then all of us.
You threw me into a wall.
I'm pretty good at throwing people.
Yeah. I'm gonna look at you still huffing and puffing, and still look at you like fuck you look on my face.
Why are you all covered in blood?
Well,
That was the attacker attacking all of us I was talking about.
No.
Whoever he is, he does appear to also be rather proficient with hemomancy.
Doing a quick self-assessment, do I feel like I've had the normal physical drain from having used hemomancy?
Yes. So technically, your wound threshold has been reduced by 1.
One again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can feel that.
Do I know what spell he was using based on my interrupt, or would I have had to successfully counter it for that?
You would have had to successfully counter it. But you could tell that it was a hemomantic spell, and it didn't seem like any spell you had been aware of before. It was like nothing that had ever been used or you had seen used in your presence before.
Okay.
It's definitely nothing that you've seen V do.
Lovely.
you expelled blood at us, and it hurt like a motherfucker.
Yes, it did. And, well, I hate to say this, but if I was still my old self, I don't think I would have survived that.
That's not good.
Oh.
Yes, I think I need to rest based on that.
Gladys, do you know what he did? Does
Nope, but
Oh,
Gladys
I'm-
is afraid.
no, I'm sorry, dearie, and don't think I want to know. I think he should just be left alone.
But he doesn't want that. He wants to get out. He made that very clear.
Don't think I've ever sensed or seen hemomancy that powerful before. Though, like V told you earlier, my memories are incomplete, but that was unlike anything I ever remember experiencing.
I was kind of sit there like dabbing at the blood on my lip.
Harold kind of slumps his way in. I heard some. Oh God, we've got quite a bit of cleaning up to do in here.
We'll need to clean up and also a carpenter.
Yes, I'll get somebody. All of you look like you should. Get some rest, maybe. He limps back out of the room.
Yes.
I, for one, think that is an excellent idea.
Agreed. I think though before we sleep, I will show you what the guild has to offer as far as, perfect purifying your blood, if that's okay, Doctor.
Yes.
It's still like mid-morning, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, let's assume that you guys spent some amount of time. So we're getting into like early afternoon now.
Okay.
But it's more like everybody's saying we should probably take it easy because a bunch of us are now beat up.
Yeah.
This isn't like D&D where you just wake up fully healthy the next day. Sometimes you gotta, take an off week.
Yeah.
And you guys,
particularly me, who can't really rest very successfully.
One by one, each of you kind of falls into trying to find a routine here, knowing you need to rest this day. And on our next session, we'll see how you all kind of pass the time healing from your injuries over a few more days, like the rest of this segment of the month. And then we will go from there. But welcome to Aethergarde. Great session. A bunch of crazy stuff happened that session.
Yeah.